All right, thank you guys all for coming. If you could just wave at me to I think Gil's joining. All right, yeah, thank you for waiting. Today wait. All right, today I'm talking to you guys about incompetence on draft night. It's a pretty much all the Hornets picks in the last 15 years and how bad they've been. So just a brief history of the Hornets. They were founded in 1988 in Charlotte, and they were awesome. People loved them. They loved the mascot. They loved the colors. They actually sold out like the most games in the NBA when they were in Charlotte. They had the biggest stadium there, except they weren't that great. And then they got moved to New Orleans, where they became the New Orleans Hornets, and they played like that until 2013, until the New Orleans Hornets turned into the Pelicans. Now, while the New Orleans Hornets were playing, the Charlotte Bobcats were founded in Charlotte, and they sucked. They were the worst team. They were the worst team ever, probably, because yeah, they were the worst team ever. So Michael Jordan bought the majority of them in 2009, and when the Pelicans got founded, like when the New Orleans Hornets went to be the Pelicans, the Bobcats turned into the Hornets. That was 2014. And so basically today I'll be talking to you about the draft picks from the Bobcats to the Hornets era. Pretty much like when Michael Jordan got in and then after that. So we'll start with the 2006 draft. This is Adam Morrison on your left. He played 122 games in 2 seasons for the Bobcats. That's right, 2 seasons for the third pick. He averaged 9.1 points per game. And he was garbage. He was awful. He was literally the worst third pick ever. And he's notable. It's also notable because of other people who got drafted that draft. Rudy Gay, for one, he's a pretty good player. Kyle Lowry, NBA champion, and Rondo was actually picked after this man. Ron is a two-time champion, most notably recently with the Los Angeles Lakers. This is a DJ Augustin on the left. He was the 9th pick 2008 draft. He played for 4 seasons for the Bobcats, and he was picked over Serge Ibaka, NBA champion Serge Ibaka, Goran Dragic, and Brooks, or excuse me, president. But yeah, he averages 10.9 points per game. So yeah, kind of a bust, but he wasn't that bad. He was just overshadowed by people who were picked after him. This is where things start to get really bad though. 2011 draft, we picked Kemba Walker, the best Hornets player of all time, with the 9th pick. And that was great, right? But before that, we picked this Bismack Biyombo with the 7th pick. We got the 7th pick because we traded away picks that turned into Tobias Harrison, Steven Jackson, and Shaun Livingston, who won Rookie of the Year that year. And we picked Bismack Biyombo before Kawhi Leonard, Klay Thompson, and Jimmy Butler. Kawhi Leonard's a 2-time champion and 1 Finals MVP, and Klay Thompson has 3 NBA championships. So yeah, that was a tough one. And then 2012 was the absolute worst. The Bobcats the year before had the 7-9 record, which is the worst NBA season ever. Worst NBA season, but they only got the 2nd pick, not the 1st. So they missed out on Anthony Davis, number 1. So they picked MKG, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, number 2, over Bradley Beal, Damian Lillard, and Andre Drummond. And you see MKG there on the left. That's his 3-point shooting form. So you can pretty much know how that turned out. And then in the 2nd round, usually you don't care about 2nd round picks. If you miss 2nd round, oh well. But they took Jeffrey Taylor. Yeah, that's right. Who? And so Draymond Green or Chris Middleton, both all-stars. So it's very tough. Another thing about the 2012 draft is that there's a conspiracy theory that it was rigged for the Pelicans to get the 1st round pick. Since the Pelicans were technically owned by the NBA at that time, they were trying to sell it to someone. So they figured that people were saying that if the NBA rigged it so that they get the 1st pick so they could sell the team for more money, since the team would get Anthony Davis. So the Hornets kind of got screwed there, if you believe in conspiracy theories. 2015 draft. That is Frank Kaminsky III on the left. And we picked him with the 9th pick in the draft. but we were offered 3 first-round picks by the Celtics for the 9th pick. Three first-round picks. He spent 4 seasons with Charlotte, mediocre at best. Didn't do anything. He's now at Phoenix, which is ironic because we drafted him over Devin Booker, NBA All-Star. You might have seen him in the playoffs this year. Very tough if you're a Hornets fan. 2016 draft was also a mess. There were talks that the Hornets were really looking at Pascal Siakam, who is now an NBA champion. He's cornerstone of it. He's probably the best young player on the Raptors. And we decided to trade our first-round pick that year to the Kings for Marco Bellinelli, veteran player, who only played 1 season for the Hornets. Notable players that we could have drafted instead of Siakam or instead of Siakam would have been Dejounte Murray, who is a great point guard for the San Antonio Spurs. 2017 draft. So the current head coach wanted to draft Donovan Mitchell, who's an all-star, one of the best young players in the NBA today. And the general manager, Rich Cho, who's responsible for a lot of these awful picks, picked Malik Monk. Malik Monk has done nothing in the NBA. He's done absolutely nothing, except for get suspended for drug use. But we picked Malik Monk over Donovan Mitchell. Also, we picked him over Bam Adebayo, who played in the finals this year, and Kyle Kuzma, NBA champion. Summer League champion, Summer League MVP. 2019 draft, the most recent draft. We've drafted PJ Washington, who, hasn't been that bad. I know this is a recent draft, so you can't really draw too many conclusions, but we drafted PJ Washington over Tyler Hero, who participated in the NBA Finals this year. And basically, the purpose of the TED Talk to me, like why it ties into me, is because I have been a Hornets fan for a long time. I wasn't a Bobcats fan, thank God, but I've been a Hornets fan, so I've had to endure this mediocrity that comes from these draft picks and these decisions by the front office and Michael Jordan. So here is the Hornets roster today. That's the projected starting roster right now. Bismack Biyombo's up there. Thank goodness we drafted him over Kawhi Leonard or Klay Thompson. But thank you so much for watching. If everybody could wave at me, that's right, goodbye. Thank you for watching. What do you guys think about that? Oh, it's recording. It's over.